Watch Who?
Hello. Welcome to the To Watch Who podcast. I'm Mark.
And I'm Sarah.
I am a Doctor Who fan and have been for a long time.
And I am new to Who.
Yay! Well, yes, you're watching these for the very first time.
I am, yeah.
We're getting through them, though. We are getting well into season 2 now.
We are, yeah. We're like, well, you say well into. We're on episode 3.
Yeah. We're doing well. We are doing well. And just to say, we're recording still in isolation.
Yeah.
Hopefully, by the time this goes out, I say this every time now, hopefully when you're listening to this, it could all be over by now. We could all be out there. And
then I say, but probably not.
So last time, we had a bit of an epic story, didn't we? It was a bit of a...
It was. It's a big one.
Dalek invasion of Earth. So season 2 is sort of shaping up quite well so far for you.
Can I ask you something about it, actually? Just quickly. Did she want to leave?
Carol Ann Ford?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, it was her choice.
Yes.
Okay.
She was, I think, well, looking at interviews and things, she was as fed up of Susan as we were.
Fine.
So, yeah, she was just like, this isn't going anywhere. I'll get typecast. And I think she was typecast afterwards. She was mid-20s and had a child when she was playing Susan.
Really?
But then everyone thought she was a teenager, so that she kept being cast as teenage roles and she didn't want to. I think she played on purpose, she played like a prostitute in her next TV role just to get away from the Susan thing. So yeah, she wasn't force written out. Was there a reason you thought that? Or
No, I just wondered. I just wondered, that's all. Just because I'm new to Who, Mark, because I'm new to Who.
I'm starting to get really paranoid now whenever I give you facts that people are going to be like, well, actually. Instead of doing maths in primary school, I was reading the Time Traveller's Guide. So,
of course you were.
I think I do know my stuff, hopefully, but I just question myself whenever I'm telling you facts, because then you will be like, well, this happened and Mark said this, and I'll be like, oh.
I do say it as well when because obviously people ask me about this, and I do say this stuff now. I'm like, well, actually. And so if it's wrong, it's coming from source and you're the source.
I know. I know, that's the thing.
The internet isn't the source, it's Mark.
Well, yeah, exactly. So now this is going out there. I'm a bit more paranoid, but it's fine. It's fine. I am correct.
Okay, right. Anyway, let's go.
So this one. So now we how did we end? So we ended, yeah. So we left Susan on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't really any sort of merge into the next story. We just went off, left Dr. Ian and Barbara, off they went, leaving Susan behind. Which brings us to today's story, The Rescue.
And Vicki, watch out for Kakulian.
I haven't seen him today.
He'll be around somewhere. And remember, he knows nothing about the rescue ship.
I know.
So be careful.
A nice little 2-part short one.
Yeah.
After the epicness of last time. So I just want to get your initial thoughts before we go into it.
It was a strange one. So yeah, to begin with, I wasn't sure if they were going to address Susan not being there. That was my initial thing, because they didn't for quite a while. It wasn't until he goes oh, Susan, and then it's sort of addressed. But I don't know what I was expecting. I think I was expecting an initial conversation, maybe. I don't know, but there wasn't.
Well, you can't really, it's nice that they do mention it, and the Doctor's character at the beginning of this, he's obviously missing Susan. It's nice that they do address it and they don't go straight into it, because they could have easily just forgotten her straight away.
Yeah.
I think this whole story for me is more of just the character bit moving on from Susan, and we'll meet Vicki as well in this.
Yeah.
The adventure part this time for me watching it, I wasn't really bothered about, the monster and what was going on. It was more the characters moving on, finding Vicki. That was really nice to see Ian and Barbara and the Doctor to get, Ian and Barbara supporting the Doctor.
It did what it needed to do as a story. It's only 2 episodes. Like you say, you meet Vicki.
I thought you saw a really good side of him in this. I thought he started to go back to the sort of grandfatherly kind.
Oh, yeah, definitely. No, I mean that, but like, you get like the Doctor at his best here, but it's one of those, I think it's after the last episodes where he's done nothing again. Well, he didn't, did he? Like in Daleks, like, he didn't really do much. And then in this, he like pretty much owns it.
Well, yeah, because there's not that much story really. Yeah, he goes off. Let's just go back a bit and just talk about just the story, Quillian and Bennett and everything. So one question I've got for you: did you work out the sort of mystery with him?
Only right. So at one point, quite early on, I think it was the first episode. So Quillian went into Bennett's room and then didn't come out.
You can't come in.
It is Quillian. Open the door.
But he came out like came out the backside.
No, backside. No, but that was my first indication, because obviously that was my first indication.
Yeah, okay.
Like they could be, because it seems to be like an enclosed room that he's in. So how did he get out? Was my question.
Yeah, that was true. Yeah, okay. Because when I first saw, I'd already read about this story when I watched it, so I didn't get that experience of working it out. I knew that's what the situation was. I don't know. I must have read it in a magazine or something. I was spoiled. So not that it's a major disaster if you are.
Well, Detective Sarah here, that's what she thought. She was like, why hasn't he come out of that room? Because he went in to talk to him, didn't he? And then he goes in and he says, do not come in here. And he goes in anyway. And then he's in there for ages. And we have the whole Barbara thing, don't we, with Vicki and Barbara talking. And then he comes out as Bennett, doesn't he? And goes, he's gone. And I thought, how?
Okay, yeah. I wondered if you would pick up on that early on before it was explained. But yeah, as I say, it's a very simple plot. It's more sort of like a Vicki audition piece, really, for for the new companion.
Yeah, who did annoy me.
Okay, well, we'll go. We're going to have Vicki talk every week now. Okay, let's go. Should we go through our characters then, and we can say what they did and sort of go in a bit more detail. So let's go back to the Doctor then, and I really liked him in this. He misses Susan. You see that side to him, the sort of more vulnerable side to him, and Ian and Barbara looking after him. And then you get a bit of an adventure. He goes off with Ian, doesn't he, and has a bit of a rock climbing. He takes on that grandfatherly role with Vicki when he looks after her. And then he gets the face-to-face with the main villain at the end. He has a sort of bit of a battle at the end. So
he has a great episode, like great story. Sorry, like this is great for him. Like I say, this is one where he is the Doctor. He's living up to his title role in all this, and they really are his companions in this story. He has been here before. He knows the place. Even anything unexpected that comes up, like when they have the booby traps and stuff. He is quick thinking, even in practical danger. He's useful, where previously he hasn't been, and that's fine, but like he hasn't been. He's having a renaissance here.
He's so good, and I think, well, normally I think we would have said, oh, William Hartnell's been on holiday and he's back. He's like, actually, maybe thinking about it, I will look up. Maybe they had a filming break between. I'm not sure. It feels like they've had another filming break for a few weeks, like they've had a summer holiday and they're back. It feels like that. It feels fresh.
Well, I didn't notice I didn't notice Barbara with a tan, so.
Yeah. Her hair was big though. He's really great with Vicki though. When he sits down, when he says to Ian and Barbara, "You go out," and then he has that little chat with Vicki.
Yeah.
That's really nice. I think that's the nice. He was never that nice to Susan.
No.
Now, I've listened to all you've said, and I've thoroughly understood. We are here to help you. This is all we're going to try to do. You know, we're not going to ruin things for you.
Well, if he was, we never saw it. That's what I mean. It's just a weird one in that regard, because it is a side I feel of the Doctor that we haven't seen. It is all of his best. I cannot think of an episode where you've seen all of him at his best.
I think he's going to stay more like this, as this kind of nicer character than any of the dick stuff we saw in any of the dick that we saw in series 1. I don't think that really comes back now. I think this is the Doctor from now on.
No more dick move Doctor.
We'll see. We'll see, but I think this is more of that character. He'll shout and stuff, but you'll see more of this nicer side to him. I think. I don't know. We'll see. Let's keep an eye out for when he first shouts at Vicki, because I'm sure he will. She'll do a Susan, I'm sure, at some point.
Oh yeah, she's young.
But let's just see how he treats. If he treats her the same way as Susan, if Susan did something wrong. But in this, great episode for him.
Yeah.
Ian.
Yeah, I mean, well, I feel like I could put Ian and Barbara sort of together a little bit in terms of they're not as present. Barbara more, so we will get to Barbara, but they're not as present. They don't have as much of a part to play because, like you say, it is more Vicki and the Doctor and what's going to happen there.
But we do get a bit of action, Ian, don't we? Because
it's not Doctor Who without some action, Ian.
And what is this? How many times has he been down in the tunnel now?
He knows what to expect. He knows.
But this time he had spikes. Yeah, you get that action bit with him, but that's about it really. And then he's out of the way. That's the Doctor shines more than Ian in this.
Can we also related that monster?
Oh, Sandy
looked ridiculous. Oh gosh, when that monster came on, I howled.
Oh no, but he's nice, Sandy, isn't he?
I know, you don't know that to begin with.
Yeah, I know, but he's nice.
But it looked hilarious, Mark. I'm sorry, I had a proper good laugh at that.
I think, but Quillian looks worse than Sandy.
Quillian looks like the BBC have gone, shit, what have we got left in costume here? Let's just whack it all together as a headpiece and hope for the best. That is what that looked like. It's everything. It's everything. It's like the Birdman from Rick and Morty at the bottom with some spikes on it, with some like face cover. It is just anything that they had to hand. And also, but it does feel a little bit like, because obviously it's all like future stuff, and they don't know. So it's like, it could look like this. Like, so random. But
Quillian ironically is a man in a suit.
Oh, I know.
So actually, he's not supposed to be an alien. He is actually a man in a suit dressed up as an alien. So in that sense, it works very well.
It is up there. It is one of my favourite terrible costumes. Also, when he first spoke as Quillian, I thought that it was the same actor as Aztecs.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Well, they all speak like that, I think.
No, that's what I came to the conclusion of.
Yeah, well, do you know what? We've done quite well for alien costumes so far, considering we're up to season 2.
Yeah.
We've only really had the hairy Sensorite bits.
Oh, hairy Sensorite.
Has been the worst.
Yeah.
We've been all right, actually, haven't we?
Yeah.
Considering, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But we could have had much worse by now. So
that's what I mean. That almost makes it funnier because it's like, what else could look like it's from the future? Just made me laugh. I had a really good laugh, and I was like, "Oh, bloody hell!" And then when that monster Sandy came, I was like, "Oh God, look at that thing!"
I can't remember what was. Oh yeah, we're talking about Ian, weren't we? Sorry.
Yeah.
Because Ian was going to fall down in the pit on top of Sandy, but didn't. Yeah. Apart from that, Ian is. Yeah, there's not really much else that he does. He's in his smart suit, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so but Barbara, I thought you were going to have a bit of an issue with Barbara. I don't know.
No, I didn't.
I'm ready to defend Barbara, but I don't know if I need to.
No, I didn't have any issue with Barbara. She was a bit like. In fact, I thought you would have more issue with Barbara. She was a bit gung ho with the gun.
Well, okay. Well, I was going to say, because I wasn't sure what you're going to say about her. She falls off. She gets pushed off that cliff.
Yeah. I genuinely, like, the way that is, it looks like she's dead. It's full, like, and it's, like, really long, isn't it? It's not like a, boo. It's like, ooh. She screams for a long time.
Yeah.
It makes it, like, I was like, she's dead. That's it. They've got rid of Susan. They've got rid of Barbara. It's Ian and the doctor.
She has survived a big fall in this, so give her a bit of slack.
And also, like, pretty well. Like, she's not even broken or anything.
Her hair is in perfect.
Her boof is still boofy.
But then I noticed, I don't know if you look, when Vicki leaves her in the ship, there's a nice little sort of kitchen ship thing, and she's like, I don't know, she's making tea or she's getting some refreshments or something. She makes herself at home. She's going through all of the cupboards.
Yeah.
And that's when she sees the gun. She just starts, finders keepers in that place straight away.
It reminded me of, in the Daleks, when they go into that other person's house who ends up. Do you remember when they're seeking sanctuary?
What, the witches?
Yes.
Right.
It's like she's gone witches, hasn't it?
Yeah, she's like going through, and I was like, all right, Barbara, like,
It's almost like she's so used to alien life now that she's like, bring it. I fell off a cliff. I survived. Bring it.
I do not blame her for shooting Sandy. It's a very sad moment.
Is it?
Oh, Vicki is devastated.
Of course she is. Like, that was sad. But Mark, like, I didn't have any emotional attachment to that thing. I didn't have any build up to it. And also, I don't think I know Vicki well enough at that point to understand how alone she is.
Okay, that's true. Yeah.
Because you always know that she's got Bennett.
Yeah.
You always know she's got Bennett. So, and something's coming. I don't know. And it's not really implied how long they've been there. I don't know. I don't really feel I had that indication of how lonely she was. I don't know. Maybe that was just me.
Well, Barbara apologizes and they make up.
You killed Sandy. Why? What made you? He was almost on top of you. How could you do it? Sandy only wanted some food. Look, he was going to attack you. Sandy only ever ate plants. I trained him to come here for food. Well, I didn't know that, did I? I mean, how could I? I shouted. You wouldn't listen.
They are dicks. I'm sorry. The whole lot of them are dicks, so they come in. Like, poor Vicki. She's like, and that is when I do feel sorry for her. Like, it's bad enough that she's got, like, one of them, Barbara, like, ransacking the place. But then the doctor and Ian come as well. So she's been by herself. She's probably happy that she's found one other person now, who's then gone and shot her friend, but whatever. Then two other ones arrive, all from a party. So now it's just, Vicki. And now they've got the three of them. They're all okay. And then they just make themselves at home, don't they? It's like, oh, well, here we go. Cup of tea.
They do just walk in and take over.
And it's the way they say it. They're like, we didn't know. Like, It's like not that much sympathy for it. The doctor is, but yeah, I don't know. I found it quite funny. That shows that there's something weird with Bennett because there is a lot of commotion going on in that room and he's making no noise.
You can't come in. You can't come in. But yeah, Ian and Barbara are very much are comfortable now in their travels, I would say. They're really comfortable now. Season 2 comfortable.
Also, to the point of like gloating.
They didn't have time machines in 1963. They didn't know anything then.
Oh, we weren't entirely ignorant, young lady. Even the doctor thought it was worth paying us a visit. That's how we got mixed up with him in the first place.
The doctor's from a different age, a different planet altogether.
He's a time traveller.
They are very comfortable in now and yeah, really sort of enjoying their travels. Okay, so Vicki, can I just ask you, because listeners, obviously I don't tell Sarah what's coming up. So were you thinking there was going to be a replacement for Susan quite soon? At what point in the story did you think when you first saw Vicki, oh, that's her replacement? Or was it at the end of the story? Was it a surprise? Or how did you think it was going to go?
I didn't think straight away. Like, I didn't think when I saw Vicki, that's a replacement. I did even wonder at one point, because I still wasn't 100% certain about the whole Bennett thing. So I did even wonder at one point whether the two of them were going to come.
Okay. That would have been different.
And then she annoyed me with the whole, I don't know, she annoyed me a little bit with the whole how long the crying all went on for. And I get it, but like the whole situation annoyed me. So I was like, oh God, I hope they don't. Also, I was surprised. I think it's because it's only 2 episodes.
In what do you mean? Like,
so actually, if it had been like 3, for example, and let's be honest, I don't think you could have strung that storyline out for 3. It'd have to be a different storyline. I mean, you can't come in. You can't come in. I still can't get in. But I think with it only being 2, I didn't feel like you really got to know her to suddenly decide to just have her tag along. Like, literally, you didn't really know anything about her.
I don't know, to my knowledge. I'm pretty sure this was probably written as, this is 2 episodes to introduce the new companion before we move on to the other adventures. So it is really there to do that.
Yeah, and you kind of get that. I just feel like from a audience point of view, I didn't feel the build-up to get her or feel connected to the point of like, I want her to come on this journey with them.
But they sort of had to, because she was literally like left there on the, well, I was going to say on the planet on her own, apart from those 2 weird guys that turned up at the end, which I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It was just a bit. I'm sure I'll like her. I'm sure it'll grow. It's not that I don't like her. I just don't really feel like I know her in any way, have really much of an opinion on her, other than they all came in, were very gloaty. She's quite young.
Well, she's space. She's space girl, fairly intelligent, I would say. So she's not too dissimilar to Susan at the moment.
No. Is she space girl?
Well, I mean, like she's from the future rather than she's from like the 26th century or something. So it's not like,
but she's human.
But yeah, she's human. But it's not like she's from the 60s where it's all going to be strange to her. So she's got a bit more intelligence than. Well, she's got that same level of intelligence than Susan probably. I'm going to say. I'm going to say I prefer Vicki over Susan, maybe because the first Doctor story I saw was Ian, Barbara, Vicki. So I saw a lot more of Vicki before I watched any Susan episodes.
Right.
So they are my favourite sort of team from the first Doctor. So Vicki is one of my favourite companions, I think, from the 60s. We'll see. I think she does develop, hopefully. You will see that.
Whereas actually, I'm having a very different thing because I've started from the beginning. So I've started with Susan.
When I first watched it, she was well in lots of stories later where they're more of that team later on. So yeah, she's maybe not as strong as she does. But obviously the actress as well needs to find her feet in the first one as well.
Yeah. Like it was just a bit of a funny, like you say, it's an episode that serves its purpose. It has the Doctor at his best. There's no doubt. Ian and Barbara are just there. Like, they, again, have their points, but they don't deliver anything to the episode. It's very much about the Doctor and Vicki. We'll wait and see. Like I said, I don't not like her. I just don't really have much to add to her because I don't feel there was enough build up to get. It's not like they had an adventure with her. Do you know what I mean? They hadn't had any danger with her. They haven't been through anything with her. If you think of all the other stories, all the other like not companions, but like friends they've met along the way, they've been through something with them. Vicki, they don't. The Doctor is the only one that really experiences any danger. If you think like Barbara, Ian, and Vicki, they're all just like sat having a chat and stealing the cup of tea, you know. And it's a Doctor that's gone off talking and being put himself in danger. So there's no real. And then they were like, "Oh, she's a nice girl. Let's take her along."
See how that goes. I didn't like her outfit, that collar thing that she had, and her skirt was very, very short in some ways.
Oh, Mark, it's the 60s.
It's very short.
Again, it's the 60s. Think Lulu. Come on now. I thought it was very 60s. I thought she was on point.
Yeah. So I sent you the picture of me meeting Maureen O'Brien.
You did, yeah. You did.
So I wanted you to see that before we record. So I met her in 2007. And that was at a time when, so that you get some of these actors that don't really do the conventions or things for a long time. And she hadn't done anything for a very long time. So I was at uni then, and I saw she was doing a signing in London. I was like, I have to go. It was one of the, it was one of the early ones that I'd ever been to, but I thought she's never going to do anything again. And she was lovely, and it's a nice picture. I'll put it up so everyone can see. But she was very upfront when she did it. She was like, because she's a writer. She wrote like detective books. And you had to buy her book to get her to sign the Doctor Who thing. But she was basically like, I'm only doing this to sell my books. She was sort of had that. Yeah. Later on, she does the audio dramas now, and she's done a few other events, and she's more in the sort of world, I think. But back then, she wasn't really. So I was a bit nervous seeing her and saying like, she was in one of the first stories that I saw. So I really liked Vicki, and there was only like one DVD out with her in at that point. It was really early on, but no, she was absolutely lovely, and took that picture, and that is before that. I mean, that is on like a little digital camera back in the day on that. And like, I got someone in the queue to like take it, and she was like, "Did it come out all right?" I was like, "Yeah, it's fine." I showed her, and she's like, "Oh yeah." So it's a nice picture. I haven't met her since. I've only met her that once. I'd like to see her again and get the full photo shoot convention experience.
She does do them then.
She's done the odd few. She doesn't do as much. I think she's lived abroad. I think she lives in France or something. So she comes back. She doesn't do as many as some of the others. She's not as involved, but she's still around. I think, she was for a long time. I think she was like, I did Doctor Who for like however long, and that's it, and move on. Some of the actors do. But really pleased that I saw her. I need to read her book, actually. She signed the book. I don't know. It's some detective novel.
Did she sign your Doctor Who stuff
I've got a DVD signed by her, yeah. Yeah, that's all. So, that's my experience. That's another signing story. There we go. As we go through, as we meet the people that I've met, I'll let you know. So Vicki is ticked off the list, at least. I hadn't seen The Rescue at that point, so I couldn't ask her about Sandy or anything. So
no, Sandy.
if I'd seen that by then, I would have been. I'm so sorry about Sandy.
You should be like, what?
Yeah, it's a nice story. It's all right. It's a very harmless story. It's not one that people really remember particularly. I would say it's a functional story. That's pretty much it. And if someone can let us know who those guys are that turn up at the end and then that just appear for no reason, I don't know. I thought all the people had been killed. I thought that was the whole point.
Oh yeah, but he says, doesn't he, like that they hadn't. He does say, like, basically he says that he's like, no, they hadn't.
Yeah, but there's just these two guys that turn up. Where are they all along? Couldn't they have like helped Vicki before?
And because he says we had to take her because they're going to take over their land and they're not going to let her stay. He says that. I can't remember what it was, but he does say something like that. I reckon that they were just some like BBC sound people or something like on the set, and they just stuck them in some costumes and were like, you just got to walk on and do this. We're not paying for extras. Just do it.
It was very odd. I think maybe
do nothing.
No. Well, maybe because they spent so much money on Dalek Invasion of Earth, they had to do like, all that location filming, all those extras, all those people. Maybe they had to really do like a really, an Edge of Destruction job. Really, that was our last two-parter.
Yeah, exactly. It was no Edge of Destruction.
No, it's all right. It's fun. I would watch it again and I'd enjoy it.
I don't know if I would.
So you're excited to see what happens with Vicki then?
Yeah, so that's the other thing, is that it ends with them on a cliff falling out, and I thought, poor girl. Like, not only are these people now, so basically this episode, these people have walked into her life, taken over her kitchen, shot her friend, then convinced her, like, no, you should come with us. You'll be safer. Yeah, we'll take you on great adventures. And then, like, she's off a cliff, basically. They're, like, stumbling upside down. It's literally, like, her life in the last, like, 6 hours or whatever it is has turned upside down drastically, poor thing.
I was going to say, the return of the little model TARDIS.
Yeah.
And then, it goes off the cliff, and the next episode is The Slave Traders. So now you've got Britbox. Do you see what's coming up? It's not really much. Have you read?
Only if. So stupid Britbox. I have so many issues with Britbox. The app and the Fire Stick have it like the title of like the story.
Okay, yeah.
And on the app, you only get to watch the first episode and then it stops. The Fire Stick, you get it like. You can watch it all, but you can't like. So if I like stopped after one episode and was like, I'm going to watch the second one like in an hour or 2 hours, I have to pause it and just leave the TV. I cannot turn my TV off and come back to it, or I couldn't go and watch something else and then come back to it. I have to leave it because it doesn't have the episodes. I've looked. It does not show the episodes anywhere, so you can't like. So the only way I can do it is on the desktop. So if you go into the desktop, you can then go like it does the same, you click on the story, but then you go back and you can see all of the episodes in order.
Oh, okay.
Like broken down.
Okay, so you're not seeing what the title is. Okay, I won't tell you what the title of the next one is, but I was going to see if you had a clue of where they'd end up.
Well, no, I haven't looked at it yet because I finished it and that was that. But they're on the edge of a cliff, aren't they? They look like they're in a jungle.
It's slave traders, so I'm sure Vicki will have a great first adventure.
Poor thing. Here's your new life. You know how you were like trapped in
She's going to wish she's back in that kitchen on that spaceship.
Now you were trapped on a planet. Guess what?
Cool. Well, yeah, I don't think there's any much more else to say, really, on that one.
No.
Cool. Okay. Well, thanks very much for listening, everyone, as always. And season 2. So season 2, you've enjoyed more than the last series so far. Maybe
so much.
Maybe
more.
A little bit of a dip for this one, but not too much. We haven't had any disasters yet.
No, I mean it's no Edge of Destruction, even though it was 2 episodes. So no, I didn't not enjoy it. I just didn't connect with it. But it's not the worst.
Cool.
I didn't fall asleep. Let's put it that way.
That is always a good thing for watching these ones.
Yeah, I got through it. It was enough.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. It was long enough. Like I said, it wasn't 3.
Yeah.
If it had been 3, I'd have been like, oh, no. But no, it was long enough.
Well,
so yeah, no, I'm loving season 2.
Cool. Well, it's only a 4-parter next. So manageable. Manageable 60s Who. That's what we like.
I don't mind them being longer. Aka, Keys and Marinus.
Well,
But as long
Marinus, yeah, it depends. It depends. If listeners know what's coming up, I think we've got a few struggles on our way. The web planet. And people know it's a struggle. So,
but I don't mind if they're long. But as long as they're not like they can justify being long or they're exciting. Like the Daleks was long, but it was, it kept going.
Yeah.
It was good and it was different. So I don't mind that. So
yeah, we got struggles coming up. So that's all I'm going to say.
Great.
So yeah, you can follow us on Twitter, To Watch Who, and Instagram, To Watch Who. And we will see you next time for the next story. Bye.
Bye.
To Watch Who.
Hey, Doctor Who? What are you talking about?